What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to our channel Total Technology. This is tutorial 105 and today's topic will be how to create REST endpoint using FastApi and Neo4j. So FastApi is a Python framework for building REST endpoint using like minimal lines of code, and all the modern cutting edge REST API features are already available in this framework. So I'm not gonna talk about all those things because for FastApi I am already doing a series and you guys can follow that. But as our main objective or fundamental objective for this series is Neo4j, so I'll be going to like skip all the theoretical part or concepts for FastApi. Rather than I will try to do, or maybe I'll try to concentrate on the things which is basically related to like integration with Neo4j and FastApi. So I believe couple of months ago I already did a similar tutorial using Python Flask framework. So this is kind of 90% same, but again I got so many requests that I should create this tutorial, so I thought of like this is the right time. So that is what I'm just doing. But again, if someone is already familiar with any REST framework like Flask or Django from Python, or maybe Spring Boot from Java, or maybe Express Server from Node.js, or any other any framework, so for them it will be very easy and bread and butter. So without wasting much time, let me just go ahead with the tutorial. But again, without like moving forward, if someone is new to this series or new to this tutorial, new to this channel, and doesn't know anything about Neo4j but have the aspiration to learn Neo4j, then probably, as you can see, this is a tutorial number 105. So definitely there are 104 tutorials before this tutorial, so it will be really good if you can start follow the tutorial or the series from the beginning. And again, if someone is not familiar with FastApi, then again I have a similar tutorial on FastApi. Just go to my channel Total Technology, and there will be you have to search with FastApi complete tutorial with Python, and you will get all the tutorial. But again, if you want to just learn some fundamental like theoretical concept for FastApi, then probably you can search Google with FastApi. It will redirect to the FastApi homepage for the Triangle or something like that, I don't remember the name, and there you will get all the documentation. Their documentation is very good, and that is the one of the feature that FastApi is so popular. Even some of the Netflix or Microsoft like platform microservices are also built on FastApi. If you go to their like website, all the details are available, which are the companies are like actually right now using FastApi. Okay, so without wasting much time, let me just go ahead with the next slide. Okay, actually I did a mistake. Like for last 1.5 minutes I was actually not showing anything like slide, but I was continuously talking. Let me go ahead with the next slide. So guys, I actually forgot to share my screen. So this is the slide number 1. So nothing important, just name of the tutorial like number and kind of a headline. So REST API endpoint using FastApi and Neo4j. So now the important part will start, and which is prerequisite. So definitely when you are going to talk about some application like development or app development or any sort of things, definitely you should take care about prerequisite. For example, in our case, we are going to do something on Neo4j and REST API. So sorry, FastApi. So FastApi is a Python framework. So definitely we need Python, then we need to install FastApi, then we need to install UVCon, and we need to install Python Neo4j Python driver. So someone can ask, what is UVCon? So UVCon is nothing, actually this is a kind of a utility which will help you to deploy or execute your FastApi application. So like this is similar like GUnicon for Flask. So I think many of you are already familiar with Flask application or REST API deployment in production or any sort of production grade environment or integration with any enterprise application. So there definitely you guys used GUnicon. So this is similarly same sort of utility. Okay, so the important thing is that you need Python, but the version should be greater than 3.6, or else you will not be able to install FastApi. It will, when you going to install FastApi using pip installer, that time if your version is less than 3.6, you will definitely get an error. Okay, so I believe these things are clear now, but I'm not gonna talk about, or I'm not gonna show the actual installation step, because I'm continuing this series for last 1.5 years, so you guys are already expert on how to install the dependencies, right? Because this is tutorial number 105, and before that we already created or completed 104 tutorials. So if I do some installation in this script, literally I will actually waste your time, so I don't want to do that. Probably it's a good time to just keep the installation part and rather than start actually with the code. So simple REST API endpoint using fast API. So I don't know what I'm gonna do actually, like what sort of thing, but probably I should do some sort of searching, like simple endpoint using searching. For example, I have a Neo4j graph database. Inside the graph database I have multiple labels, so user will go ahead and search with a specific label, and based on that it will give the count of that label. Okay, for example, in your database you have 4 different types of label. For example, student label, you have school label, and you have teacher or faculty labels, different sort of nodes. And now you want to count the how many student nodes are available. Okay, so or how many nodes which are having label equals to student. So this sort of things we can do using REST API endpoint, and for the sake of simplicity, I'll just going to create a simple like single endpoint using fast API, so that the integration part will be important for this tutorial rather than going to be the complexity of the code. So in the next tutorial or upcoming videos, we'll gradually increase our complexity. Okay, so let me just go ahead and open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I have already created a GitHub repository. My slide is already placed over here. So let me just create one what do you say, like Python file. Let me name it main.py. Okay, and we'll start writing the code from here. Okay, so first thing first, let me just increase the size a bit. Yes, it's bigger now. Let me import all the necessary libraries and we'll do. Okay, from there. So first thing first, we need to import our Python dependencies, right? And we need to we need to import our Neo4j related dependency, right? So let me just start from the Python dependencies first. So it will be from fast API import fast API. Then we need from Neo4j import graph database. Okay, we need to connect to the Neo4j database. So for that we need to place our credential to a secret environment file .env file. So that is why probably we need import OS. Okay, then we need from .env import load.env. okay, so all the dependencies are done. So now next thing, we'll be going to create a .env file. Okay, so inside that we'll write URI equals to, then user equals to, and password equals to. So URI means the Neo4j bold address, like address with the bold protocol prefixed, then user ID and password. So password is user is Neo4j, password is this. And how to do that, I think this is not required because you guys are already know, but again, if someone is new, then go to your Neo4j thing and you will get it. Neo4j desktop, there you will get it. Okay, like this. Okay, and I already open, yes, it is here. This is already connected. If you see here, Neo4j bold, same. So let me show you what are the things I have. Match in, let me check if I have any data or not. Return count in. Okay, so I have this many records. 33,477 nodes are there. So perfect. Okay, so all done. So let me start writing the code. So first thing first, let me load my environment variable. Okay, so it should be load env. So this is simple. Okay, let me just write something like this: load underscore dot env like this. Okay, and then we'll be going to write all this thing URI equals to os dot get env, and inside that we'll be going to push this URI. Okay, so it should be URI. Okay, then probably user is going to be the same thing, user, and password is going to be like this. If you are new to this thing, then probably you should do some reading from the documentation. This is a very good approach, and in your production or in any enterprise level application should be work like this. Like your environment file should not be like committed to the GitHub. It should be always placed in the Git ignore. So when you will do the deployment, so you will get this thing from the secret store, or probably you can put directly into the application server where actually you deploy it. So your application credential will not be published to any public store, and your application also not using any hard-coded credential. Okay, so after that, let me just check whether this is working fine or not. Maybe I can write URI user and password, something like this, and let me just execute this application. Open with integrated terminal, and maybe I can write python 3 main.py. So yes, so all are perfectly working fine. Okay, so this is done, so I should not skip anything. Okay, so now we'll start creating the application. Okay, so before that let me create the application. So giving a name app equals to FastApi, the same thing, and after that let me just create a simple REST endpoint. Okay, so it should be app dot get, something like that. This will be a get request. Okay, and like this. Okay, and after that def, then default, something fault, like this. Okay, and return, and maybe I can write something response, you are in the root, you are in the root. Maybe this is a root, so that is why root, like this. Okay, so let me just check whether everything is working fine or not. So as I told you, we need uvcon. So uvcon main dot app, main means the file, app means our application name, then you should write port, and we'll be going to give one port, so it should be 8081. I can give any port. So let me execute this thing. See, my application is running here. So let me click on this thing. So see, response, you are in the root. Okay, so I believe this is a someone said this had a hot reloading. There is something called hot reloading. So whatever you change, it will come. Let me check root path. I don't know if this will change or not. For that, actually I need to stop and I need to do, then it will work. Yeah, but there is something called reload equals to true, or reloading equals to true. That time it will work. Okay, so you don't have to close the application and start it from the beginning. It will automatically start. Okay, so first endpoint is created. Okay, so but our job is not this one, our job is something else. So maybe can write app dot get. So get means the get request, and there probably I can write count. Okay, this is my another endpoint. Okay, and there actually will do the operation. So def count node, and as I told you, I'll be going to give label actually. Okay, I don't have to mention this thing because label is going to be the always string. Okay, and there will be going to do the operation. So what will happen? So I'll pass a label as a query parameter, and from there it will do. Okay, so while connecting with the Neo4j, we need a driver Neo4j, and this will come from a function. Okay, the function will be written over here, maybe I can write. Okay, so def connection, okay, like this, and there I can write driver equals to graph database dot driver, okay, then URI equals to URI. I believe this URI will be here, right? So URI equals to URI, then auth equals to this one, like user, this user and this password. So our this is established, then return driver, okay, done. So Neo4j this, then maybe I can write connection, okay. So I'm getting the driver from here, then probably I can write session equals to driver Neo4j dot session, same thing. Those are familiar with Neo4j, for them it will be very easy, okay. Like, so my session object has been created. Now I need to write the query, so the fun part. So query, let me just put it like this. Now we'll do the query. So my job is to check if the label count is there or not. If there, what is the count? So maybe I can go over here and I can write match n, right, where labels n in maybe these are the label, okay. So maybe I can write something like that, country return count n as count, something like that, okay. So I got this thing. Now in my case this will be as a variable which will come from the query parameter. So let me just copy paste this thing, and from there actually I'll do. So I don't need to copy paste, I can do this thing from there actually, okay. So let me write the query first. Okay, one more thing, I need the name of the label and count. Where is that? Return. So suppose I need the name of the label as well. Okay, just forget about that. I just need the count actually. I think that will be easy. Yes, let me just check the this thing, okay. Then later on you will see what are the things we can see, okay. Okay, just hold on. Labels n, or I can do something, match n return distinct labels n. So it will give me all the labels. Return, okay, dis dinct, okay, country city game, okay. So country definitely have a name, city also have a name, game I don't know game has a name or not, maybe I can check game. Let's see, yeah, okay, game also have a name. Country also have a name, city also have a name. So I can frame this like a count and a name of this thing, so that will be really look good in the browser, okay. So maybe I can write something match like this, match n, okay, then where labels of n in dollar is a variable. Okay, return n dot name as name, then n dot I believe n dot count. N dot count is not required, count of n is required. Count of n as count. Okay, this is a parameter, so I need to parameterize this thing using a dictionary. Now same thing, so it should be x equals to, like I believe it should be something like this, a, and this should be this variable which is coming from our query. Okay, so label, then results equals to session dot run, then I have to pass this q1 and x. Okay, it's done. Then I need to return this thing actually. Okay, return, then something like that, response. This is a response, definitely this is a response, and response is going to be a list, and inside the list every element will be a dictionary, and maybe I can like something like this, let's say name, okay, equals to row of this name, right? I'll explain what is row. I am just actually doing list comprehension, so that is why it is coming like this, and then I can write count, and this is going to be row of count. Okay, so the dictionary is completed for row in this results. Okay, so all Neo4j query are actually kind of a result set, so I'm just iterating through this thing and I'm using list comprehension, so that is coming like this thing. So this is quite a bit complex, but again this is an advanced thing, so I believe all of you are familiar with this thing, so I thought of showing this thing now. So in the earlier tutorial I haven't done this thing before, but I think this is the right time I should do it. So what will happen now, I will use count, and after that I will use a query parameter with question mark, then label with some value like either country or either city or either game, so it will give me the count. Okay, okay, so let's do this thing now. Okay, so like this, stopped, run, it is running, follow link, so it should be count. Oh, it is here, maybe I can write count. Okay, then I should write label, and maybe label equals to, first let's check with country. Okay, it is showing response is null. Why? Because my country C should be in capital. Okay, so that is why it is returning blank. Okay, see, Scotland 1, count 1, England 1, count 1. So like this it give me all the countries count. Okay, okay, so if you, let's say do something, maybe game, see this many friendly match, okay, then British nation champions, like this we are getting response. Okay, so let me change it to city, see, like this. Okay, so we can do a bit more details, like if London city count, something like that, we can do it later, but I believe you guys understand the concept, how actually I'm getting this response, and definitely it will make sense. Okay, Okay, and one more thing, like if you want to get the consolidated result, like just the count, not this thing with name, then probably you should skip this part, then it will give you the only count. For example, if I remove this thing and let me run this thing, okay, and again if I do this thing, what happened? Yes, I need to remove definitely this part, sorry. Okay, only count is there because that part is gone already. Okay, see, city count is this. Okay, so that is why you should have multiple endpoints. Okay, I'm just showing with only one endpoint. So if you have the descriptive count, then probably you can create another endpoint, count, count separate, count, consolidate, like this. So in mainly in, like large scale enterprise application, they have multiple endpoints, but just because I'm just going to give you guys the intuition towards how to integrate with REST API, so I'm just using this thing, but that is not the right way of doing, so I should make it like this. Okay, so let me check again. Okay, fine, so everything is working fine. Okay, so I believe you guys understand the logic, and if you guys see within like 28 or 30 lines of code, and out of that these things are very small, these things are like already you guys know the main part. I don't know what is the main part, probably this is the actual part. These two things are actually new to you, all of you, right? Because, and if someone is already familiar with Flux, for them this is not a new tutorial, because I'm not doing anything special, only running the application is a special. Again, like this command is probably new for all of you, but again if you read the documentation you will able to understand it actually makes sense to run this application like this. But again, you can do it in a Flask way if name equals to main, like then app.run server. In that way also you can run it, but you should do proper research how to do that. I don't remember exactly, but there is some way of doing it. Okay, so that's it guys, that's it for today. But before I close this tutorial, guys, please let me know some sort of feedback whether you guys are actually enjoying the series or not, because I'm kind of creating a new tutorial, because I believe all the basic intermediate tutorials are done on Neo4j, so thought of creating some advanced topics. So this is one of the advanced topic, and probably from next tutorial onward I will try to do something on the epoch and maybe filtering, or maybe something more on the query tuning or performance improvement for large CYPHER queries. But before that, probably I should do 3-4 tutorial on application development using like Neo4j backend, so that will be really good. So if you guys having any use case, just let me know. I will try to cover up with the FastApi, because FastApi is kind of a very new, and probably this is our first tutorial I'm just uploading on YouTube, because I haven't found any tutorial on YouTube. So definitely you guys will love this tutorial, and let me know some sort of feedback, good or bad, doesn't matter. That should be honest feedback, so I can create some more quality content. Then definitely it will be beneficial for you, and also it will be actually help me to understand what are the topics you guys are actually looking for. Okay, and last but not the least, try to do some sort of practice, or else you will definitely forget, because watching my videos will give you some sort of idea and concept, but if you're not writing your code by your own, ultimately or eventually you will forget over the time. So after watching this tutorial, just grab a pen and paper, or try to think through it, try to create some use case, try to analyze, visualize, and after that implement, or else you will definitely forget. And while doing something, if you have any problem, I'm actually already available in the WhatsApp group. You can ping me over there. I will try to help you. Okay, so that's it guys. This is a weekend, so hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, take care, goodbye, have a nice day.